Hosts Football Night in America, live from San Francisco. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on NBC. The players waiting to emerge from the tunnel just a little bit here at the Home Depot Center. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Russ Thaler now joining Kate Margraf on the set as we start to take a look at how this game will shape up with the starting 11 for both teams. Let's start with the home side and Pia Sundhaga's USA squad.
Well, they'll line up in a 4-4-2. Becky Sauerbaum has replaced Rachel Bueller. Her strength is her ability to stick composed under pressure and to pick out passes. Megan Rapinoe is one of those players she will find, number 15. There is nobody better with her tactical intelligence and her gifted technical ability. And she'll be looking for number 13, Alex Morgan. The difference with Alex compared to everybody else is her off-the-ball movement is world-class in anticipation for the service.
Well, let's see what Tom Sermanni's cooking up his starting 11 for Australia.
Well, they will line up in a 4-3-3, and they're playing a new goalkeeper. This will be her second cap. She's 17 years old, technically gifted with loads of potential, but she's facing a massive task. Number 14, Colette McCallum, is a defensive center mid. She's the most technical player on the team. She'll provide dangerous service on all set pieces. And number 11, Lisa DeVanna, the fastest player on the field today. Look for her to try to capitalize on some of the opportunities she'll create.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. We showed you the players in the tunnel. They want to come out on the field, so we're going to send you up top and join Arlo White.
Russ, Kate, thank you very much indeed. What a glorious day for it. And the teams, the Olympic champions, the United States, and the wonderfully monikered Matildas of Australia, as in the country song Waltzing Matilda, enter the sunshine. And a crowd that is growing to somewhere in the region of 20,000 in Southern California. Hope Solo, another international appearance for her. She said about Pia Sundhaga's reign, I don't know if I could have made it back in 2008 without her. Abby Wambach still chasing the international scoring record held by Mia Hamm of 158 goals. So the teams are out on the field. We are ready for action. The fan appreciation tour continues. It's the United States against Australia, and the kickoff is next. Aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear. Everything we've learned making tyres for confident handling inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Welcome back to the Home Depot Centre. It looks spectacular, and there's a raucous, lively crowd in today as well. International friendly action. Alex Morgan getting a huge ovation. Her 50th international appearance today. Time for the national anthems.
National anthem of Australia.
The United States then, Olympic gold medalists after winning 6 out of 6 at London 2012, take on Australia, ranked 9th in the world, and it's coming up next on NBC. Welcome back to today's international friendly between the United States and Australia, presented by Panasonic ToughPad. Carl Martino is between the benches for us today, as usual, providing a field-eye view of the action. Carl, who are the players to watch for you today?
Well, starting for the United States, it's a midfield that's been run by veterans like Carly Lloyd and Shannon Box, while the next generation's here. And understudies like Lauren Cheney are ready to prove they can step up to that starting role. They can be the star on the team. She has talent. She's good with the ball. She can control the tempo of the game. And for Australia, they have a speedster up top in Lisa DeVanna. This is a player her teammates say on a good day is as good as, well, just the former FIFA Player of the Year, Marta. She has that ability going at players' speed and skill. She'll need that to break through this tough U.S. line.
Thanks, Kyle. There's Pia Sundhage. It's the start of her farewell, a record of 89, 6 and 10 in close to 5 years in charge. I've long dreamed of being Sweden coach, she said. Now I'm happy. For Australia, it's Tom Sermanni, a Scot. He's a candidate to perhaps succeed Pia. He told us, I have a big responsibility to Australia, but I can't say I wouldn't be interested. Any coach in women's soccer would be. There's Kari Sykes of the United States. She's in charge today. Away we go at the Home Depot Centre. First long ball forward. Here's Megan Rapinoe for the first time. Finds the feet of Abby Wambach, but it's rolled back to a very young goalkeeper. There's the first mistake. She gets away with it, though. Brianna Davey. Abby Wambach was following up. She's only 17 years old, Brianna Davey, making her international debut. 17 years and 247 days. The top 3 Australian goalkeepers are all out of action at the moment. She edges out Mackenzie Arnold just about on experience, and Arnold's only 18 years of age. She was part of the party that went to Japan in July for the Japanese send-off game to the Olympics. Didn't get on the field. Wambach with the header. And here's Lisa De Vanna for the first time. So quick, so skillful, as Carl Martino pointed out at the start of the game. On the overlap is the young left-back Stephanie Catley. She's only 17 years old, highly rated. What a good cross that is to the far post. Sarah Walsh, something of a legend in Australian women's soccer, who will retire after this series, was almost on the end of it.
Well, you can see right from the start, Australia's not afraid to send those outside backs forward. They get a lot of their attacking ability out of the green light they give those outside backs to overlap, get down the flank. That ball just a little too high for Walsh, but good run in the box.
These two sides haven't met for a while. 4 years, the United States have never lost. Australia, the only team to score 4 goals against Pia Sundhage's United States, and they still lost by 5 goals to 4. Part of the Pia mantra, we will score, Kyle, one more than you. She likes to play attacking soccer, and I think Sweden, her home nation, will feel the benefits of that when she takes over her new job, starting December the 1st. Alex Morgan, 50th international for her, trying to thread it through to Tobin Heath, but it's cut out by the Australian defence. And here's Walsh on the far side.
You saw Ford overlapping again right there. When you play a 4-3-3, you open up the flanks to allow those outside backs to get forward. They're going to try to win that midfield battle, numbers up against Lauren Cheney and Carly Lloyd, and open up those flanks, change the point of attack, get those fullbacks in.
It was Caitlin Ford with the throw-in, another 17-year-old. The 2011 World Cup Young Player of the Tournament. It's fair to say Australia are no Costa Rica. Quarter-finalists in the 2007 World Cup and 2011. Costa Rica were vanquished by 8-0 in the first match of this Fans Appreciation Tour in Rochester, New York. A very young side they sent over, but Australia are building for the future. What skill by De Vanna. The back heel, which nutmegs Becky Sauerbrunn. De Vanna again. Here's an opportunity. Gill. Walsh over the bar. What a chance that was. And she had plenty of time to measure the shot, and she got underneath it.
Well, this is De Vanna right here. Speed, skill, and creativity is just a nightmare for any defense to play against. The United States don't get the ball clear. Good ball here. But watch, Walsh wants to run around that right foot. If she takes that with her left early, she can go against the grain, put it in that side netting. She wanted too much time to let it come on her more comfortable right foot.
Tom Sermanni told us the other day she's been fabulous for the Australian international team. She's got an instinct to score and create. She's the 3rd highest scorer in Matilda's history with 37 goals in 74 appearances. But she's been injury-plagued. She's done tremendously well to go to the age of 29 in international soccer. 3 knee reconstructions before she was 18 years of age. And Tom was telling us the other day, she struggles to actually stroke a side-footed pass. She can't open her right leg up because of the surgery she's undergone. And she will retire from international soccer after Wednesday's rematch between these sides down in Colorado. That match already sold out, by the way. Early wobbles at the back for the United States defence. A confident-looking Australia who've only played 3 internationals so far this season. Rampone. And here's Becky Sauerbrunn.
Well, a tough part for that back line. When you're going against a 4-3-3, you have 3 forwards sprinting at you. Australia high pressuring and makes it much more difficult to build out of the back.
And I think Tom Sermanni, Kyle, wanted to outnumber the United States in the centre of midfield as well, didn't he? Headed forward by Cheney. Here's Wambach. Some room to manoeuvre here. Trying to slide it to her right-hand side to Megan Rapinoe. She admonishes herself, Abby Wambach. It wasn't a good ball. And away come Australia again. Stephanie Catley to Lisa Devanna, working against Amy Lepelbe. To the edge of the area to Gill. She lets it run to Van Egmond. Now Walsh again, who's seen plenty of the ball in the early stages. Caitlin Ford plays for Sydney FC in the W League in Australia. And she'll get a free kick. Well, the team from down under, foul by Carly Lloyd. And Australia have started brightly.
A very aggressive start from Tom Sermanni's side. Going right at the United States and putting them on their heels early.
Colette McCallum is number 14, born in Glasgow. Who curled it in with her left foot. There's an opportunity for Gill in front of goal. And she knows she should have done better. A quizzical look at her defence from Hope Solo. And another opportunity for Australia.
Well, Gill's the one player up top that gives them a little height on set pieces. Outstanding ball curled in towards Hope, and she's frozen right there. She's waiting for that contact. That's the perfect ball, and Gill could have got a little bit on that. I think Hope Solo would have had a tough save to make.
Well, Kate Gill comes with a fine pedigree as well. 2010 Asia Player of the Year. She scored the winner for Australia against Japan in the Asian Championship semi-final in 2010, and that qualified Australia for the World Cup finals. They went on to beat North Korea on penalties to secure their first ever title. She tore her ACL in Sweden last May, and sadly for her and for Australia, she missed the Women's World Cup finals. Megan Rapinoe with the throw-in for the United States. Good defending by Savetta Zunla. She's looking for the speedy Devanna. Covering is Christy Rampone, playing her 268th international today. Been given away again. Gill, crunching challenge though by Sauerbrunn. Long ball forward by McCallum towards Gill. Now Sauerbrunn again. Space to turn here for Cheney. Into the feet of Wambach. Opens the body. Out to the left-hand side to Tobin Heath. In a narrow position. They're keeping the ball better here, the United States. Cheney. Rapinoe in off the right flank. Kelly O'Hara's making a super run down the left-hand side. The referee gets in the way of that one. Caitlin Ford for the Matildas. Driving forward. Emily Van Egmond wants to play for the Western New York Flash. She tries the drive. It's on target. And a huge roar of approval for Hope Solo, who makes the save.
One thing to watch for today is how different the United States are in the midfield when Cheney and Lloyd are in there instead of Box and Lloyd or Box and Cheney. Shannon Box will sit in that hole and allow either Lloyd or Cheney to get forward and be creative. And now Cheney and Lloyd are going to share that responsibility. And at times it becomes a little redundant. They get in each other's way.
Good running from Alex Morgan. Australia just struggling to clear their lines here at the moment. But away they come through Walsh. McCallum onto that left foot of hers. Ball it goes to Tegan Allen for the first time in this match. Into the 10th minute, long ball over the top with the pace of Devanna, but the flag is up on the far side. Wasn't by much. You can see the idea, particularly when the United States back four press up, leaving all that real estate behind them. The speedy Devanna looking to get on the end of some long balls.
She's trying to play right in the blind spot, off of the shoulder of Christy Rampone.
The skillful Tobin Heath. Now here's Alex Morgan. Saw a shot there a few moments ago of Tom Sermanni, the Scottish coach of the Australia national team. I wonder if he's in the mix to replace Pia Sundhage as the next coach of the United States. He says he hasn't spoken to US Soccer President Sunil Gulati about the position. He says he's interested in the role. He has a big responsibility to the United States, to Australia, I should say. He's been in charge of the Matilda since 2004. And talking to him the other day, I think he expressed what a lot of coaches in the women's game and outside are thinking about this now vacant position as being the plum job in women's international soccer. Chatting to Sunil Gulati the other day, he says the process has started. There's a 4-member committee that has been appointed, including the legendary Mia Hamm. There is no shortlist yet, he tells us, as that committee is still gathering information. He said it's not clear whether it'll be a male or a female in charge next. There's Pia Sundhage looking on. But he's got a fine track record, Tom Sermanni. He could be in the mix. Christy Rampone, who was at the White House on Friday to meet the President and the First Lady, along with a lot of United States Olympians, and it's her 4th visit to the White House post-Olympic Games, she was telling us yesterday. Here's Rapinoe on the right-hand side, looking to stretch that Australian defence. Low left-footed ball to the edge of the area. It was Laura Alway who got the ball clear. Now here's a possibility for Australia, and here's Devanna. She just miscontrols it. Onto that pass from Emily Van Egmond. To the byline she goes, being tracked by Christy Rampone. Waiting for some support here. It's a little slow arriving for Devanna, but here it is through Van Egmond. Van Egmond again. Gill makes a run down the centre. Back it went to Colette McCallum. Now Walsh on the far side. She leaves it for Tegan Allen. Kelly O'Hara into the challenge. But she's dispossessed by Ford. The tackles are flying in. A friendly, but it's not so friendly. Kate Marggraf, who was in the 1999 World Cup winning team, twice an Olympic gold medalist, part of the NBC team for these US friendlies. Kate, you played with Christy Rampone. This is her 268th international appearance. What was it like to play with her? What sort of professional is she?
Well, she's a consummate professional. She's one with 2 children, but is always getting the adequate amount of sleep, as much that is possible with 2 children.
Devanna with a cross towards Hope Solo's goal. It's over onto the roof of the net. There she is, Kate.
Yeah, but I think the big thing with her is just her athleticism. She is by far the most athletic player that the United States has had over the course of her career. I played with her for 13 years, and I think she was either number 1 or 2 in all of the agility and speed tests we did. And even at the age of 37, she still is the fastest player in the 40-yard dash on this team. So that makes her a difficult defender, a difficult player to be as a defender, because you might beat her once, but she's going to recover and be right on you in a hot second.
Play on, according to the referee. No, now she blows for a foul to the United States. Free kick taken quickly by Megan Rapinoe. And here's Abby Wambach. Roars of the crowd. Christy Rampone telling us yesterday she has committed for 1 more year as a player. Then we'll see, she says. I did ask her if she fancies being the coach of the United States national team at some stage. She says, I don't want to coach players that I've played with. Here is Rampone again. But certainly didn't rule it out as a possibility for the future. Look at that searching long ball towards Wambach. He allows it to run out. It came off the head of Azunla, the centre-back. First corner of the match for the United States.
This is dangerous for Australia. Trying to deal with Abby Wambach on set pieces is a difficult task, especially for a young goalkeeper. She needs to be confident, come off that line. She doesn't have a lot of tall defenders out there to deal with Abby Wambach.
Lauren Cheney will take the set piece. She missed the Rochester romp against Costa Rica with an ankle injury. It's a deep floating ball towards Wambach. It's over her head. Van Egmond able to clear. Sauerbrunn. Lepelben. Sauerbrunn again. Tobin Heath is providing width on the right-hand side. Megan Rapinoe, for the time being, is in the centre of the field. Here's Lepelben. 77th international for her. And all the way back to Hope Solo. Kate, when it comes to the experience of Christie Rampone, this is going to be a transitional period now for the United States. Well, it'll be good news for them that she's staying on to play for another year, to see them through it, wouldn't it?
Well, you nailed it right on the head. This is an aging team. It had one of the oldest rosters in the Olympics at 28 and a half years of age.
Kelly O'Hara looking to get to the byline. Good physical defending, though, by the right-back Caitlin Ford. And it's a free kick to the Australians.
So keeping Christie Rampone, back to my point, is so important because she has so much leadership and so experience, and that's something you can't teach. You need to go through it on your own, and she can help mentor some of these younger players like she has Rachel Buehler, like she has Becky Sauerbrunn. And then you need to see if she can keep her high level and possibly compete for one of the spots in the next World Cup.
Which is in 2015, Kate, isn't it, in Canada. She made her US debut February 1997 against Australia in Melbourne. Here's Gill, who's looked threatening so far. Wonderful skill to take the ball past O'Hara. Walsh and Devanna have switched flanks. Devanna was looking for the return ball to Gill. It's cut out. No natural holding midfielder in this United States starting 11. Lauren Cheney and Carly Lloyd, of course, took over as a central midfield partnership in the very first game when Shannon Botts went off injured against France at 2-0 down in the opening 20 minutes. Botts returned for the final in that 2-1 victory over Japan. In between time, it was the Cheney and Lloyd show. Crunching challenge by Amy Lepelben. It's a throw into the Australians. Stephanie Catley felt the full force of that, Kyle.
Well, just to my right, head coach of Australia, Tom Sermanni, jumped off the bench and took exception to that challenge. Looked over to the fourth official, wasn't happy with it.
Oh, opportunity here for Alex Morgan in the penalty area. Morgan left-footed, is blocked. She had Tobin Heath in support. Ball breaks here to Kelly O'Hara. Lauren Cheney. But here's Emily Van Egmond for the Australians. The father, Gary, is the manager of the Newcastle Jets in the Men's A-League in Australia. There's a good long ball over the top. Here's Walsh on the left foot. Sarah Walsh, is this the opening goal? She's hit the post. She had Hope Solo beaten and the US defence. It rolled agonisingly towards goal. Saved by the woodwork. And Sarah Walsh has looked the most likely to break the deadlock in her penultimate international.
Well, this has been happening with the United States back line recently, playing very high without pressure on the ball and counting on the speed of Christie Rampone to make up for baiting teams to go over the top. And that was a perfect ball. Great opportunity there for Walsh.
Here's Cheney for the United States. Well, they've been warned 2 or 3 times now, and it's a good open game. Look at the strength of Alex Morgan. Alex Morgan clean through into the side netting. Best chance of the match so far for the United States. Alex Morgan is claiming it was a save and should be a corner. Not so, according to the referee.
Well, watch this. No pressure on the ball. That back line's got to drop, but they play high. Walsh gets in behind. Christie Rampone makes up the ground, and that little bit of arm on her throws her off. full extension from Hope Solo, but the post had to make the save. And on the other side, there's no one in that back line that's going to keep up with Alex Morgan. Takes a great last touch. That's a difficult angle. Chooses near post. Doesn't keep it on frame, but wide open at the moment.
Two very similar chances. Balls over the top to pacey strikers. And Pone gets the better of Kate Gill this time. Lovely ball to Megan Rapinoe as well. A crowded central area. She checks back, gets it back from Carly Lloyd, scorer of those 2 goals in the gold medal match against Japan. The second, an absolute beauty at Wembley Stadium, worthy of winning any game at that famous stadium.
Well, that's the tough part in this lineup, when she sits in that hole and lets Lauren Cheney go forward, and she's the one that protects that back line, as you lose her ability going forward. This is where you want to see her.
That's a similar situation to that second goal, driving down the centre of the field, and she gets the ball back from one back. It's a good challenge in the end by Emily Van Egmond. Rapinoe again. She scored 2 goals in that epic 4-3 victory over Canada at Old Trafford, Manchester, in the semi-final. One of the great games in the history of women's soccer. Won after 122 minutes and 23 seconds by an Alex Morgan header. A sensational game of soccer. O'Hara with the cross, deep towards Morgan. There's another header from her. She can't turn it towards goal. Showed great strength to win the ball, though. O'Hara battling with Divana, who switches the play to Walsh. Well, it's a good open game of soccer at the moment. I'm surprised at this stage we are scoreless. Plenty of chances, most of which have fallen to the away side.
One thing the U.S. needs to be careful of is Tobin Heath is a fantastic player, so skillful on the ball, great one-on-one dribbling, but she floats a little, and when she goes in the middle and Rapinoe go in the middle as well, it's so crowded in there, they can't get the width, and that's where all the numbers for Australia are, in the middle of the park.
Alex Morgan towards the edge of the penalty area. Still Morgan. Tries to find Tobin Heath, delayed the pass that enables Sarah Walsh to get back and defend. Van Egmond. Good idea by Tegan Allen, who'd spotted the run in a central position by Lisa Divana. Couldn't quite work the ball through to her. But how dangerous is Alex Morgan looking for the United States? Telling us yesterday she's feeling something of a post-Olympics void. She says she feels like she should be doing more. And Kyle, I suppose when you build up to such a big event like the Olympic Games, and then you go all the way through 6 wins in 6 and win the gold medal, there's inevitably going to be some sort of emotional come down afterwards, isn't there?
Well, it's the same sort of criticism you see for some of the best U.S. men's players. I remember a lot with Landon Donovan. You'd see him break a game open and how good he is, and then people are very critical of him when he doesn't have a blowout game. When he just has an average game, and an average game for him, an average game for Alex Morgan, is still a better game than most players. People expect perfection out of this young player, and they have to wait for her to develop a little bit. She's still young.
She scored 21 goals in 22 appearances in 2012 alone. She didn't realise until the other day that this was her 50th international appearance. She said she was shocked. But she did admit it's absolutely huge for me. 31 goals in those 49 appearances. Long-range shot from Allen. Shouldn't be too difficult for Hope Solo, and it's not. And the crowd are cheering a Hope Solo save like it's a goal at the other end. Cheney. That's blocked by Zunla, and away come Australia again. Here's Van Egmond. All way for Australia. Here's the 17-year-old Stephanie Catley. Hope Solo has been brought into this game more than she was in entire matches in the Olympic Games on occasion. She spoke very passionately, Kate Markgraf, didn't she, after Pia Sundhage's announcement. She was on the outside of this squad looking in after 2007 at the World Cup when she was dropped from the semi-final, a 4-0 defeat. And Pia Sundhage brought her back into the fold and almost had to regain her confidence, didn't she?
She did, you know, and that was such a terrible time for the entire national team, as well as Hope Solo. And basically, Pia said, even though you're an individual, you don't need to be ostracized. Made it a point that none of us hold on to a grudge and that we move forward. And the thing about Hope Solo is she's raised the level of excellence in that position. No one can make the saves that she makes. She's got deft hands. She's explosive athletically. And people hit the post all the time because she makes it so difficult to score. That's the only angle left.
It's a great point. They've got to find the corners, haven't they? Oh, there's another one off the post. Then off Solo. Here's Walsh. Square ball in. And Van Egmond can't contort her body to send a shot goalwards. Kate Markgraf, you almost predicted it.
You know, that's how you have to score. It has to be an unbelievable shot in the improbable angles that are so difficult to hit. That's the only way to beat her.
But she's a little bit fortunate that doesn't come off her back and go in the net. And we've seen that a few times watching soccer over the years. Goalkeeper gets beat at full extension, hits off the post, comes off her back, and the rebound was a great chance. Ball came down, and Van Egmond just snapped at it, didn't let it hit her foot and go towards the goal. Australia are knocking on the back line there, giving them a lot of problems, finding little spaces, especially in the transition.
Well, we saw some remarkable goals in Major League Soccer yesterday, not least in our NBC game between the Portland Timbers and the Seattle Sounders through Freddie Montero. But we also saw a goal from an acute angle, the acutest of angles, direct from a corner by Thierry Henry, the great Frenchman for the New York Red Bulls. And that was a similar situation. That looping cross, I think she would have to say it was a cross that cannons off the post and stays out. The second time that Australia have hit the woodwork in this game so far. Lapel back for the United States. It's out by McCallum, foul by Abby Wambach. He was chasing back. 145 international goals for Abby Wambach, the record for the great Mia Hamm stands at 158. 20 goals in 2012.
Arlo, just to my left, Pia Sundhage got off the bench and was yelling at Alex Morgan to get in behind that back four. They want to try to stretch that back four with her pace. They've made the game so compact, they don't have a lot of room to play in the middle, and that's one way they can open it up.
Zunla with the free kick into the penalty area it goes. Gill trying to get on the end of it. US Soccer on NBC is brought to you by Panasonic ToughPad Tablet, fearless, and by Century 21. Century 21 is the official real estate company of the US national teams. Approaching the half-hour mark here at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California, home of the Major League Soccer LA Galaxy and Chivas USA. Beautiful day, excellent crowd have gathered here. So far scoreless somehow. Here's Carly Lloyd. She lets one go with the left foot. Just drags the shot wide. Trying to replicate her heroics in the gold medal match against Japan. Carly Lloyd, if she plays both of these games, there's no reason to think why she wouldn't against Australia today here in Carson and then Wednesday in Denver. That'll be exactly 100 international appearances for her under Pia Sundhage. Scored 4 goals in the Olympic Games. She started the games on the bench, Carly Lloyd. It was that injury to Shannon Box that just opened the door for her, and she took her chance. Lauren Cheney into the feet of Abby Wambach. Turns away from Van Egmond. Now, Tobin Heath to Alex Morgan. Is this the opening goal? No, it's a yard or so wide. So close. Best piece of soccer so far this afternoon from the United States. Inches away from Alex Morgan.
When Tobin Heath makes her mind up before she gets the ball, she already knows where she's going with that. A quick touch, quick pass, right into the stride of Alex Morgan. Strikes it low, hard, far post. You expect her to put it on frame, but great running off the ball from Alex Morgan.
One of the legacies, perhaps, Kyle, of Pia Sundhage's reign could be Tobin Heath and her future in this US national team. She thinks Tobin Heath's best position is that number 10 role, in behind the strikers, where her skills and her passing ability and her vision can create. And that is an excellent example of why Pia Sundhage thinks that. Normally a wide player, Tobin Heath, only 23 years of age. She's playing her 53rd international already.
But based on how much she's been floating around the field and finding those little pockets in the middle, it seems that's a position she loves as well. And, you know, she has the skill, she has the one-on-one ability, but she has that ingenuity and the creativity, makes decisions quickly, and can find that final pass. That's such an art form, is making that final pass.
Here's Tegan Allen, 18 years old, from Sydney. Flick on by Kate Gill. Rampone will just ease the ball back to Hope Solo. Sarah Walsh is down in the centre of the field, just flexing her right leg. Such knee injuries and problems for her throughout her career. And you hope that she can play a majority of these final 2 games. She looks a little distraught down there. Kate Margraf, she has been magnificent for the Australian national team, hasn't she?
She has. I mean, she's an incredible person to be around. She's a consummate professional, very much like Christy Rampone. What made her different was her speed. No one could match it. Unfortunately, her technical ability was never able to mature because she was always injured. She didn't get enough time on the ball. I spoke to her last night. She was actually in my room hanging out, and she just said, I hope to go 60 minutes. So it's sad to see her come down, sitting down at 31. She just can't do it physically anymore.
Yeah, she's halfway there, 31 minutes on the clock. She played WPS, Kate, didn't she, for Sky Blue FC, based in New Jersey, and St. Louis Athletica.
Yeah, she did, and she always was that player as a back line that you had to know exactly where she was, because you would have to anticipate the service just to get those couple extra yards to cheat, because you knew you couldn't stay with her. So it's a really sad day that she's retiring, and it's sad that she just couldn't have the career she wanted because she was hampered by injuries.
Appreciative applause from the crowd here at the Home Depot Centre. We'll just wait for confirmation as to whether she continue or not. She's already hit the post this afternoon, Sarah Walsh, as Tom Sermanni has to make the final decision, or at least a decision about who to bring on in her stead. It's looking like she's walking towards the bench to your right-hand side there, Carl Martino.
She looks like she's going to try to come back on. And you know, we were talking about leaders earlier, Arlo, and Christy Rampone, and how she'll help the transition. Another player that helped this transition was the player that just led the talk during this water break. Abby Wambach said to the team, when we switch the point of attack and we swing it around, that first touch needs to be positive, be aggressive, attack them. We're taking too long, we're too slow right now. And she clapped her hands, tried to get everyone motivated, and that's one of those players you need on the field when a new coach comes in to help that transition become seamless.
Lapel bend. Straight into the midriff of Alex Morgan, which is available again for the pass from Lauren Cheney. The return is a little heavy. Here come Australia. Lisa Devana is quick, but not quite that quick. Becky Sauerbrunn for the United States. Here's Kelly O'Hara. Tobin Heath has gone back out to that left-hand side. She's going to have a run here at the Matilda's defence to the edge of the area on the right foot. Can she work an opportunity for a shot? It's blocked. Here comes the cross from O'Hara towards the back post and Abby Wambach. Over her head, though. Great to see Sarah Walsh back on the field. Devana. What a turn. Now it's a foot race with Christy Rampone. Lisa Devana heading towards goal. Rampone behind her. Devana's in here. Oh, what a goal! That is absolutely magnificent from Lisa Devana. A 27th international goal. She would rarely have scored one better than that. And the groans have turned to applause at the Home Depot Center.
Well, this initial turn is 5 feet in front of my podium, and watch how quickly she pirouettes and gets off. The most impressive part is she's beating the fastest player in the U.S. with the ball at her feet. Look at the separation. The composure looks up, roosts it. Outstanding strike. But watch this turn. How quickly she gets turned. Christine Rampone comes up too close. But look at this. The separation with the ball at her feet. It is so difficult to be that fast with the ball at your feet. This is why they think at her best, she can be one of the world's best.
And you get into that position, Kyle, and you finish like that, past Hope Solo. 27 years old, plays in the Swedish Damallsvenskan, the women's league there for Linköping. Scored 4 goals at the 2007 World Cup. Abby Wambach actually managed 6 in that competition. She made her debut internationally in the same match as Sarah Walsh and Kate Gill. And this front three for Australia have 97, now 98 international goals between them. And you can't say that goal hasn't been coming.
Well, and if you're Christy Rampone, she's experienced enough to come up there. And if you make that challenge in midfield, it has to be a foul if you don't win that ball. Even if she has to take a yellow card, she was that last defender over on the near side. She took a risk in coming up and pressuring high on her. Right when she spun, grab a shirt, take a yellow card, let your team get back.
Kate Margraf, I could have handed over the play-by-play first to Carl Maltina. Then when he sent Lisa Davana off, you're by the corner flag on our set just in front of the goal. You know about Lisa Davana. You've seen her play a lot. That was an extraordinary individual effort, wasn't it?
Well, absolutely, and that's what she's known for. She can turn on a dime. She's good with both feet, but she prefers her left foot. But when she's running at you, you only usually see is her number because she's so far in front of you. And I think the reason why Christy Rampone did not foul her is because she's not used to being in that position of knowing that she's going to get beat in a foot race. That never happens. So that's a testament to how fast she is. Davana is the fastest player on this field right now.
Kate, it's a friendly. Now, if that is a World Cup semi-final, does Christy Rampone make the foul? You were a defender. What would you have done?
You absolutely crack her. But you crack her in a way where she's not going to get injured. Whether you pull a shirt, which I always did, which is the safest way to stop the play, allow your team to reorganize and get back, and you don't hurt the other player. And if you can't, then you need to do a challenge where it just disrupts her enough that the referee will call a foul. You have to do that. And I think, you know, Christy Rampone hasn't been playing games as much. It's just that little tactical bit of knowledge of just being on at the moment is not, because they're just not played in.
I love that honesty, Kate. Just crack her.
Tells you what type of defender I was, doesn't it?
I think the lesson we're getting out of this, guys, is let's not be marked by Kate Margraf in any form of soccer.
That NBC friendly pickup game is not happening now.
Unless she's on our team. Carly Lloyd. Tobin Heath drops deep to find the game. Megan Rapinoe. Australia with a 1-0 lead here at the Home Depot Center in this fan appreciation game for the Olympic gold medalists. Rampone tries to spread the play, but Sarah Walsh able to bring the ball down. She's still got some pace herself, Sarah Walsh, despite the injuries. Allen trips it over the top, looking for Kate Gill. It was a heavy touch from Tegan Allen, but the chance was lost. They look pretty bright here, Australia. Only their 4th game of 2012. They didn't qualify for the Olympic Games. They had a win and a draw against New Zealand. They lost that match in Tokyo in front of 30,000 in July by 3-0. A very young side sent out. Their breakthrough as a soccer nation in the women's game came in 2004 when they qualified for the Athens Olympic Games. They drew 1-1 with the United States during that tournament, and they beat the host Greece. Here's Carly Lloyd. One defender to beat. Onto the right foot, Carly Lloyd, and it's saved by the young goalkeeper, Brianna Davey.
That's the one time we've seen Carly Lloyd in the final third, showing what she can do. Dropped the shoulder, got on that right foot, ripped one too much to the goalkeeper, but you want to see her get more touches in that area.
Gill for Australia. Plays professionally in Japan. The goal scorer, Davana. On the overlap, Van Egmond. The ball goes into the box. Christy Rampone able to just languidly stroke the ball to the right-hand side of the second attempt. But here they come again. Catley is past Rapinoe. Left-footed cross is too deep for Gill. Sarah Walsh still battling away. Tobin Heath collects the ball. Something of an island over there on the left-hand side. So back she goes to O'Hara. Going back to the 2004 Olympic Games for the Australians. They made it through to the quarter-finals. They were beaten by Sweden in that competition by 2-1. Subsequently qualified for the 2007 and 2011 World Cups. And 2 more quarter-finals there. 2007 they lost to Brazil by 3-2. And then 2011 a 3-1 defeat to Sweden. They haven't qualified for the Olympics since 2004. O'Hara. Dangerous looking cross, but Davey has looked pretty assured so far. He's out to gather cleanly. There's Kelly O'Hara providing the threat down the left-hand side. There she is again, one of only 3 players to play all 570 minutes in 6 games at the Olympics. Hope Solo and Christy Rampone, the other 2. Lepelbet, nice use of the body to get past Devana. Challenged by Catley on Rapinoe. Rapinoe screamed for the ball, got it back off Amy Lepelbet. Bit of trickery from her. That's supervision. Here's Carly Lloyd. Can she work it inside to Alex Morgan? In the end, it was just too late. Coming over from her right-back position was Caitlin Ford to get the ball clear. Lauren Cheney. Megan Rapinoe again. Cheney continues to run down the right-hand side. That creates a little gap. That was good soccer, though, by the United States.
Leverson's going down a goal. Carly Lloyd has been the one getting forward. A little adjustment. Great ball there. Perfect run. Alex Morgan and Carly Lloyd got in each other's way a little bit. The ball got stuck underneath Carly Lloyd. Tried to toe poke it over to Alex Morgan. A terrific ball from Rapinoe.
The throwing goes Australia's way. No celebratory leaps so far for Pia Sundhage. Laura Allway, who plays in the WSL, the league in England. Tegan Allen. Emily Van Egmond away from a couple of challenges. Tegan Allen in the penalty area. Kate Gill is there at the edge of the 6-yard box. Clearance by Sauerbrunn. Only as far as Devana. Back defending here is Megan Rapinoe. She's left Amy Lepelbet a little short. The challenge is won. It's a killed effort from Van Egmond. A little too straight in the end. And Hope Solo is able to save it. It's a performance of real commitment so far from Australia. They're not shirking any challenges here. There's a nasty collision in the midfield. Alex Morgan is down on the ground. The Australian right back Caitlin Ford is slow to her feet. And Alex Morgan may need some attention here. This was the collision.
Yeah, just a clash of heads.
And the roar when Alex Morgan climbed to her feet was one of the loudest of the day. A star has certainly been born at the London 2012 Olympic Games. Coming up at half-time, Russ and Kate will break down the first half highlights, and they'll talk about the future of the US women's team, all that and more on the US Soccer Half-Time Report, presented today by Century 21. Here's Alex Morgan on that left foot, switches to the right, edge of the area, still Alex Morgan, the drag back, another drag back, tormenting the Australians. To the right-hand side, Rapinoe, low cross is blocked by Catley. Still there for the USA, is it? No, Cheney is dispossessed. Amy Lepelbet will run the ball out of play for a throw-in inside the final 90 seconds of the first half here. Rapinoe, edge of the area, that's good vision. Here's Cheney, long range shot, comes in, it's a good one. It was Alex Morgan, in fact, and it's another good save by Brianna Davey.
Great quick turn here from Alex Morgan. Gets a separation, right, left foot, and goes back from where she came from. And you could see Davy was leaning right. Her momentum was taking her that way. That's a tough save for her to come back and make.
There'll be 1 minute of stoppage time to be added on here at the end of the first half. Sloppiness from the Matildas. Here's Alex Morgan again. She's in the mood. Alex Morgan to the left-hand side for Tobin Heath. Morgan's continued her run. Tobin Heath on the right foot. Davies there again. She's in inspired form. She can't prevent the corner, but what a debut she's enjoying so far. Tobin Heath denied at the near post.
Well, they get dragged into the middle with Alex Morgan. Lovely cut back here. Fake left-footed shot from Tobin Heath. Need to go far post with that. Davies right there, cheating towards her near post, inviting the shot far post. That's where Tobin Heath has to put that ball, but they do get a set piece out of it.
Megan Rapinoe with the corner kick. We're approaching the 45-minute mark here at the first half. She scored direct from a corner in the semi-final against Canada at Old Trafford. That's heading towards goal. It's off the crossbar. What a double that would have been. I wonder if she meant that, Kyle.
Well, you called it.
Here's Lepelbet. Low cross from Tobin Heath. Causes some trouble there for Azunla. And Brianna Davey, who's coming up with some great saves. Probably needs to work a little bit on her ground game, but she's showing some terrific potential in goal for the Australians. Inside the final 30 seconds of the minimum of a minute stoppage time. Flick on from one back is a very good one. Alex Morgan is through. The Australian goal is leading a charmed life as we approach the half-time whistle. There's the corner kick from Megan Rapinoe off the crossbar, trying to repeat that wonderful moment against Canada. And there's the Alex Morgan chance just before the break. She just slices it wide. All United States in the last 10 minutes or so, trying to get back on level terms. Clearance from Catley. Now here's the goal scorer, Lisa Devana, twisting and turning. Space here for Tegan Allen. And that's the half-time whistle. Well, that was entertaining. And Australia have come to play, there's no doubt about that. Lisa Devana has provided the crowd with a magnificent individual goal. It's the only goal of the match so far. It separates these sides in this international friendly, part of the Fan Appreciation Tour. 3 halves of soccer remaining in the Pia Sundhage reign as coach of the United States. She's got a little bit of work to do at half-time here. Brianna Davey, she's been equal to everything that the United States have thrown at her on her international debut. Megan Rapinoe hit the crossbar with a corner kick. In the beautiful sunshine in Southern California, there should be goals in the second half. Hope Solo beaten once by Devana's wonderful, crisp, left-footed finish into the top corner. Let's head down to the field. Carl Martino is with Tobin Heath.
Thanks, Arlo. Tobin, Australia gave you guys quite a first half. What were they doing well?
I think they were doing a lot of things well. First off, they were connecting passes in the midfield, looking dangerous, taking every opportunity they can. So overall, they've come out definitely with their A game.
You guys finished the half really well, created some chances. How do you get into that final third a little more often?
Yeah, I think there's some positives we can take away from the second half of the first half. We're starting to do things well. We're getting our opportunities now, and I think we're just clicking a bit more. We just need some time on the ball, getting used to the heat, and I think you'll see a much different team in the second half.
Thanks, Tobin. Arlo?
Kyle, thanks very much indeed. The half-time report to come with Russ and Kate. Half-time, United States 0, Australia 1. A Panasonic tough pad. The substitutions, well, there's a plethora of them at the start of the second half. 4 for the United States. Shannon Botts is into the game for Carly Lloyd. There's Rachel Bueller, she's in for Christy Rampone. Heather O'Reilly has replaced Megan Rapinoe on the right-hand side. Heather Mix is in the game for Amy Lepelbet as well. So 4 changes at half-time for the United States. The women's national team have won 12 consecutive internationals. They were crowned Olympic champions in London In 23 matches in 2012, they scored a staggering 90 goals, but they're behind at half-time in this friendly against Australia. Tom Samani, the happier of the two coaches at half-time. Savet Azunlar of Sydney FC will take this free kick. Here's the goal scorer, Devana. First touch for Shannon Box. Likewise for Heather O'Reilly. And now, well, it was almost a Heather mix on the right-hand side. Back it goes to Box. Now Sauerbrunn. Lauren Cheney for the United States, just a little bit behind Tobin Heath. Sarah Walsh able to get in with the challenge. Caitlin Ford, 17-year-old right back, thumps the ball forward. And Rachel Bueller can just ease herself into the game with her first touch. Well, Becky Sauerbrunn. Rachel Bueller played most of the minutes in the Olympic Games, started all 6 games, 6 victories en route to the gold medal. There's Azunlar. Those 90 goals I was talking about came at 3.91 per game this year for the United States. A situation padded somewhat. Wins of 13-0, 14-0 and 8-0 against the Dominican Republic, Guatemala in Olympic qualifying, and Costa Rica in the first match of this fan appreciation tour. But if you take those games out, it's still 55 in 20 games at 2.75 a game. That is a rare rate of goal scoring. And once again, testament to Pia Sundhage's attacking philosophy. The United States have always attacked, though, in women's soccer to great effect. Here's Devana having a run here at Bueller. Crossing comes. She was searching to the edge of the area towards Van Egmond. Allen gets a challenge in. Shannon Box hucks it clear. Only as far as Caitlin Ford. She drives forward now towards the United States back line. Not a bad effort, actually. Lovely ball slid through to Devana. She couldn't corral it on the edge of the penalty area.
One thing that's going to concern head coach Pia Sundhage is the lack of touches Alex Morgan and Abby Wambach have been able to get. One of the reasons that is McCallum, sitting in that hole, number 14 for Australia, has done such a good job of looking over her shoulder and moving left or right to close down that passing lane into those two forwards.
Sarah Walsh making a darting run inside of the United States back line. But the Matildas, as in waltzing Matilda, still have possession. Tegan Allen, an attempted cross that went straight to Hope Solo. We saw in the gold medal match, Kyle, Shannon Box and what she brings to this United States women's national team. She'll just sit in front of the back four and almost quarterback it, won't she? She won't drift too far out of position. She's very adept in that position and tactically disciplined.
Well, when we talked to Lauren Cheney before the Olympics, and we asked her what Shannon Box like. You play against her every day in practice, and she said that's the hardest player to play against because of how disciplined she is, the angles she takes, and what a tough tackler she is. And you'll see a better Lauren Cheney this half because Shannon Box does so much to protect that hole and give her an opportunity to go forward.
Here's Tobin Heath for the United States. Looks to get back on level terms. Abby Wambach. Heather O'Reilly. Now Lauren Cheney. Here is Shannon Box. Kelly O'Hara to the edge of the area and Tobin Heath. Lauren Cheney again. Patient build-up here. Tobin Heath on the edge of the area. She'll drive when it actually ricochets off Abby Wambach, who was perhaps in an offside position. Made it easier for Brianna Davey. And straight away, the Australians mount another attack. Caitlin Ford. Solid challenge by Shannon Box. And again. Oh, the two tussle there. And that's a flashpoint. Caitlin Ford is 17 years old. Shannon Box is 35. And she's still got that competitive spirit.
Well, she just doesn't stop. Makes the first challenge the second challenge. And we love that the youngster didn't back down, but Shannon Box doesn't lose those challenges often.
Substitution about to be made here by Australia. Sam Kerr comes into the game for Sarah Walsh, so she managed 50 minutes. Sarah Walsh hit the post earlier. Well, we saw the competitive spirit there for Shannon Box. Kate Margraf, a former teammate of yours at international level and collegiate level as well. The fire still burns bright with her, doesn't it? O'Reilly with the crossing towards Abby Wambach. Now Box again. We'll go back to Kate in a few moments' time. And Catley will allow that ball out for a goal kick. Your thoughts on Shannon Box then, Kate, who's been such a great servant to the US women's national team?
Right. The thing about Shannon Box is she always knows exactly where to be. She is so smart tactically. In every single scrimmage, when the United States play each other in training, the team that has Shannon Box on their squad will win because she sits in front of that hold and serves as a shield in front of that back four, disrupting passes, winning tough challenges, and not only that, she's incredible in the air, especially offensively on corner kicks. She is just a complete player, one of the best all-time players at holding center mid this country has ever seen.
And she'll be 38 by the time of the next World Cup finals in 2015 in Canada. And she told us yesterday, I thought before the Olympics that I was done, but I'm not done. I have a lot more to give. I want to carry on. And she still has that passion for the game. Here she is. She'll unwind a shot that goes a yard or two wide to the left-hand side of Brianna Davies' goal. And she started very brightly here, Shannon Box, who played superbly in that gold medal match, coming in after that hamstring injury. I asked her whether she thought her Olympic Games were over. She said she just desperately wanted to be a part of it. She didn't feel great after that injury, obviously, but the trainers pushed her. And it's a mark of Pia Sundhage's management of the team and their individuals that she said, Pia trusted me. When I said I was good to go, she believed me. The decision was made for her to start the gold medal match the night before, and she was magnificent. Heather Mitts with the interception. Simplicity from Shannon Box. Gets it back from Heather O'Reilly. Sprays the ball beautifully out to Tobin Heath on the left-hand side. Heath with two defenders to get past here. And Caitlin Ford stands up to her. Cheney with the flick. Still Lauren Cheney. Oh, is this a goal? Is this the equaliser? A good block tackle on Alex Morgan. She's facing away from goal. And it goes to Tobin Heath. Back to Alex Morgan. Another block tackle. Desperate defending by the Matildas. But effective defending by Australia to preserve their goal-to-nil lead. And still no leaps this afternoon for Pia Sundhage.
Well, that all started with an outstanding diagonal ball that got Pia Sundhage off the bench clapping. Alex Morgan looking for a little hole, trying to get turned. Finds Tobin Heath. Great skill to free herself up. That long touch took Alex Morgan a little bit too far away from the ball, reaching for it, and gave Australia a chance to get back and make a tackle. But the United States now are moving the ball left and right a lot better, changing the point of attack. And every time they do it, Pia Sundhage to my left takes a step off the bench and applauds. That's what she's looking for.
Tegan Allen for Australia with that slender 1-0 advantage courtesy of a first half goal from Lisa Devana. And it was an absolute beauty. Sam Kerr is a substitute. It's the United States with the throw-in. Okay, let's go back to Shannon Box. She's not the only gold medalist in the family, is she?
No, she actually comes from a very competitive family, a single mother. Her sister has a gold medal from Atlanta.
Inside the penalty area they go with Alex Morgan. There's the shot! And there's the equaliser. Emphatic from Alex Morgan on her 50th appearance for the United States. And that's her 32nd international goal. And the United States have drawn level with Australia. And finally, this afternoon at the Home Depot Centre, we see the Pia Sundhage lead.
A great ball there, but watch this from Alex Morgan. Gets it back on that favorite left foot of hers. How quickly she can get that 2-yard separation to open up a window. Watch this. She's got it on her right foot, chops it, and she's right on it. Next step is a shot, and she rifles that one. Nothing the goalkeeper can do about that. But this is why she's going to be one of the best players in the world, is in the tight spaces. All she needs is a little window. She's a great athlete, terrific skill, and Pia Sundhage, who is a great goal scorer in her own right, loved that one.
She's looked the most dangerous attacker all afternoon. Here come Australia again. Devana sprinting through to put Hope Solo under pressure. The United States back level now will press and press for a go-ahead goal. Tegan Allen has made way for Claire Polkinghorne, 23 years old, of the Brisbane Roar, in midfield. The ball slid through by Tobin Heath towards a galloping Alex Morgan. But Brianna Davey, who's been terrific this afternoon, the Australian goalkeeper, was out smartly to the edge of her area. She had no chance with that bullet of a shot from Alex Morgan. When either Abby Wambach or Alex Morgan have scored a goal this year together, the strike duo, the United States are 11-0-0. In fact, they're the second teammates in US history to each score 20 goals in a calendar year. Tiffany Milbrett and Christine Lilly managed that in 2001. A 22nd goal of the year for Alex Morgan. Abby Wambach is on 20 goals. Been fairly quiet today, Abby Wambach, so far. That's not usually the case. She scored in the opening 5 matches of the Olympic Odyssey at London 2012, including a crucial penalty kick against Canada to tie things up with 10 minutes to go at 3-3 in the semi-final against Canada. Hope Solo off her line. Here's Tobin Heath. Rachel Bueller. Oh, Becky Sauerbrunn. Morgan leaves it for O'Reilly. Now Shannon Box. Introduction of the 4 sets of fresh legs seems to have done the trick so far for the United States in this second period.
Well, it's not through running and not through getting on the ball and trying to do something themselves. It's through moving the ball quickly. There's a terrific urgency in their play right now. The ball's flying off their foot.
A stern half-time chat, I'm sure, from Pia Sundhage, who took over in 2007 after that World Cup in China, when the United States came third after a 4-0 semi-final defeat to Brazil. Here's Wambach into the area. This is an opportunity. It was Lauren Cheney who'd inch forward from central midfield, didn't connect with that left-footed effort, and Davey makes another save.
Well, great here from Alex Morgan to know Abby Wambach's going to win this. The run comes through from Cheney. Lovely soft header from Abby Wambach right in the path of Cheney. Just can't rip that left foot, get enough power behind it.
Played 506 minutes at the Olympic Games, Lauren Cheney. Didn't manage a goal in London 2012. She did manage 2 in the World Cup in 2011. Here's the Australian substitute, Sam Kerr. Devana. Once again, solid defensive midfield work. Yeoman's work from Shannon Box. Long ball forward from Tobin Heath. Here's Alex Morgan. Look at the space on the right-hand side here for Heather O'Reilly. Abby Wambach lurking behind Azumi, the defender. Heather O'Reilly pulls the ball back to the edge of the area. Tobin Heath may have a hot opportunity here. Here she is. Back to Shannon Box. Plenty forward in attack here. Box may have a shot. She does. It's low. And it's wide.
Alex Morgan is starting to find those little seams, and the tireless work from McCallum looks to have gotten to her. She's not covering as much ground, and Morgan's peeling off that back line, getting the ball and turning and starting that attack by moving the ball wide, getting back in the box.
Kay Margraf, you never got to finish the story about the Golden Box family.
Yeah, they come from a single mom, and these 2 sisters are very tight. Gillian being the elder one. Gillian is quite the competitor. She's a firefighter in San Jose. But after Shannon won a gold medal in Athens, her first one in 2004, Gillian's like, mine still looks better. So Shannon had to go and win a 2008 medal and then a 2012 medal just to one-up her sister.
She's rubbing it in. A third. Here comes O'Reilly. Oh, that's beautiful, but it's offside. It was a lovely fake shot. Then she opened her body and slid the ball through towards Alex Morgan, who was in an offside position. An hour gone on the Home Depot Centre, and all action second half so far. We are level at 1-1. She's played every minute of the 3 Olympic finals, gold medal matches that she's played in. And look at that for a header to spring the United States into another attack. Through ball towards Morgan. She's got the legs. Oh, she's brought down. It's a penalty to the United States. Brianna Davey, the goalkeeper, has clipped Alex Morgan. Kari Seitz, the referee, points to the spot. Brianna Davey is down, clutching her face. In this situation, it is a friendly. Will she see a red card? It was a heavy touch by Alex Morgan. And we'll wait and see from Kari Seitz, the referee, whether she takes any further action. But there's an opportunity to take the lead from 12 yards here for the United States.
The young goalkeeper makes the wrong decision here. Alex Morgan definitely going to get to that ball first, and that touch is going to take her away from the goal. It's going to be very difficult for her to control that and get a shot off. The goalkeeper committed herself and came out really early.
Let's take a look at the foul. Brianna Davey, hands on knees.
Great ball from Tobin Heath, and curls it right in the path of Alex Morgan. And this touch right here, she's at the 18. There's a center back right on her. After that touch, it's going to be tough for her to get onto that ball and score. And the young goalkeeper making a decision early, coming off the line. At that point, all Alex Morgan has to do is get a toe on that, get to it first, because she knows that contact's coming.
Chants of USA around the stadium. And problems for the centre-back Laura Alway from that collision. She'll be taken to the sideline. But good refereeing from Kari Seitz as well, I think, the veteran United States whistleblower, who hasn't taken any further action so far, although she is marching in the general direction here of Brianna Davey. This is a friendly. We want to keep it 11 versus 11 for as long as possible.
That's good refereeing. The penalty's bad enough, and that's the punishment for the poor decision and the bad foul, but I don't think Alex Morgan's getting on the end of that one after she takes that touch.
And Shannon Box, who we've been discussing in this second half, a 3-time gold medal winner with 23 international goals to her credit, 35 years old, her 172nd international, and she'll take the penalty kick here. Shannon Box, right foot in, right in the corner. 24 international goals now. The go-ahead goal for the United States. They lead by 2 goals to 1.
Well, here's that ball, and look at the curl on the ball, and it actually, after it hits the surface, comes back into Alex Morgan. She takes that touch, Davey comes out, and she reads this early. She gets off that line a little early, gets there. But watch this ball, too much power and too much placement.
So Laura Alway, who you saw coming off the field for Australia as well, as we see a leap, number 2 of the day. I've seen a leap higher, but maybe it's because it was a penalty kick and expected. But Alana Kennedy is in the game. At centre-back for the Australians, Alway unable to continue after that collision which led to the penalty kick. The United States have come roaring back in this second half. Fresh from a 4th Olympic gold medal, their 3rd in a row in London 2012. They scored 16 goals in the competition, a new Olympic record, beating Brazil's tally of 15 in 2008. 6 wins out of 6 in 16 days. It was a magnificent effort. And after trailing France 2-0 in that opening match where Shannon Box was injured, they went 360 minutes without conceding a goal. And it was the first time the United States had won every match en route to the gold medal. And they're in rampant form here. Heather O'Reilly having run it Catley. The cross is deep, but it's behind for a goal kick. Heather O'Reilly, one of the more experienced players in this lineup, 27 years old. Her 172nd international. Wonderful views of the Home Depot Centre.
Well, the great part about the outside midfielders for this U.S. team is they all have a different style. You have Heather O'Reilly, who stays wide. She has pace. She has one thing in her mind: get by my player, whip a ball in. Then you have Tobin Heath, that's more creative, wants to get on the ball, wants to get central. And then you have Megan Rapinoe, that's a hybrid between the two, who can play wide, who can take players one-on-one, but is creative enough to come in the middle.
Almost a problem there for Brianna Davey. Here's Lauren Cheney. Kelly O'Hara with the interception. Now Tobin Heath. Another curled ball around the fullback forward for O'Hara, who wins the corner. Third of the match for the United States. Megan Rapinoe's off the field. She hit the crossbar with one at the end of the first half. Taken short by Heath, who looks in the mood in this second half to Cheney. Tobin Heath again. Bit of trickery from her inside the penalty area. Kelly O'Hara battling for possession. Trying to make something happen in that Australian penalty area. Abby Wambach is going to be substituted here. 6 subs allowed in friendly internationals. No goals for Abby Wambach today, but listen to the ovation for her. Here comes Amy Rodriguez, a 95th international appearance for her. She'll look to add to her 25 international goals. O'Hara hooks it forward. Tobin Heath has space, corner of the area. Right foot drive, takes a deflection off Rodriguez, and it's behind for a goal kick. US Soccer on NBC is brought to you by Panasonic ToughPad tablets, Fearless, and by Century 21. Century 21 is the official real estate company of the US national teams. Shannon Box looking over the top towards Alex Morgan. Amy Rodriguez available inside her if she can spot it. She was facing to the right-hand side to Heather O'Reilly, but here's Rodriguez on the left foot, scuffs the shot. There will be no rest for Pia Sundhage after she relinquishes her role after Wednesday's game against Australia down in Denver. She's contracted for 4 years for the Sweden national team, starting in December the 1st. I'm sure she'll be busy before that as well. She takes over from Thomas Dennerby, who was coached for 8 years. He stood down after the Olympic Games. Sweden were beaten 2-1 by France in the quarterfinals. Sweden host the European Championships next year. And they take part in the opening game, July the 10th in Gothenburg. It's a tournament she won as a player. In 1984, she was an excellent player. She is extremely famous back in Sweden. And she was actually voted 6th in FIFA's vote for Player of the Century. 4 goals in the 1991 World Cup when Sweden took bronze. An Olympian in 1996. A 22-year international career that yielded 71 goals. And she returns home. Mission accomplished for the United States. Here's Kerr. Attempted cross was blocked by Kelly O'Hara.
Well, the scary thing about that is Sweden is probably one of the most improved teams over the last few years. Very dangerous, and now they have a coach who said at the beginning of the show she's coming back to Sweden as a better coach due to what she's learned from these players, the time she's had with them. So that Sweden team's going to be scary.
Australia are preparing a double substitution as we approach the final 20 minutes of a hugely entertaining afternoon. In front of 19,851. And they're enjoying themselves in the sunshine in Southern California at the Home Depot Center. 20 minutes left. Forward for Australia. The Matildas turns away from Tobin Heath. Block tackle from Kelly O'Hara. Shannon Box looking for Alex Morgan. And away goes Amy Rodriguez. Morgan at the far post. She was the intended recipient. It was well blocked, though, by Savetta Zunlar, who stays down just inside the field on the byline.
There's not a tremendous amount of pace in that back line. She's staying down after that last challenge. She's had a very, very tough day dealing against two of the best forwards in the world. Getting a little bit tired, not thinking as quickly. They're getting exposed at the moment.
So Kate Gill, the second leading scorer in the history of the Australia women's national team, behind Cheryl Salisbury. She's got 34 goals to Salisbury's 38. She makes way for the 20-year-old Emily Gielnik, who plays for Liverpool Ladies in England. And we're about to see Kaya Simon as well. There's Tom Samani making the decisions for the Matildas. And it's Colette McCallum who will come off, and Kaya Simon, a striker, a very attacking player, and a wow player, according to Tom Samani. Only the third Indigenous Australian to play for the women's national team. Bridget Starr led the way in the 1990s. Goalkeeper Lydia Williams, who isn't here, she's injured, is of Aboriginal descent as well. Kaya Simon is on the field, 7 goals in her 37 international appearances. And scored 10 in 10 this past season in the WPSL in the United States for the Boston Breakers.
Well, now that U.S. back line has 2 speedsters to worry about.
Heather Mitts for the United States. Heather O'Reilly in trademark fashion, going for the byline, but cuts back this time and crosses left-footed. Alex Morgan cushions the header to the edge of the area towards Tobin Heath. Retrieved by Sauerbrunn. Here's Rachel Bueller. O'Hara to Tobin Heath. Bueller switches the play to the right-hand side, and Heather Mitts, a 3-time gold medalist as well. And he goes to Lauren Cheney. Opportunity here. Good-looking drive across the face of Brianna Davies' goal. Actually, her first touch appeared to take her backwards slightly then, when possibly she was clean through on goal.
Well, Heather Mitts waited for that pocket to open up. Great ball. First touch not the best, but this strike is great. First touch takes her a little bit away from the goal. She has her back to the goal, swivels the hips, gets a lot of that one. Just can't catch that far post.
Both sides have made 5 substitutions each. There's an agreement that either side, both sides, can make 6 in this friendly international. Forward goes Mitts. The real spark about the United States in his second 45 minutes. O'Reilly, Mitts, challenging with Catley, the young left back. Shannon Box pointing to where she wants the ball. The score of the go-ahead penalty goal. Kaya Simon is back defending and rolls that ball to start another attack here for the Australians, who've not seen too much by way of the United States attacking third in the second 45 minutes.
Well, they did so well in the first half in the transition, and the United States have forced them back on their heels. A little more possession and further up the field. It's much tougher to break out of that transition when you're 30 or 40 yards back defensively.
Shannon Box again. Lauren Cheney. Offside against Australia. We'll make one last substitution. There's the goal scorer, Devana. Seems like a long time ago now. It was a magnificent goal. A full 40, 50, maybe even 60-yard sprint towards Hope Solo, and a left-footed finish into the top corner. They haven't managed to add to that, though, the Matildas. The US have come roaring back, and they lead by 2-1 as we approach the final 15 minutes here. Shannon Box. Now Lauren Cheney. Box again for the United States. Rachel Bueller. As Kelly O'Hara tied to the touchline on her left-hand side. Here she is. First time ball in field towards Tobin Heath. It's too strong. Lana Kennedy can bring the ball clear. There's the run of Devana. She lays it off to Gielnik, who looks for Devana again. Well covered, though, by the right-back Heather Mitts, who's been drawn in field into a central defensive position. Alex Morgan roars every time she touches the ball, flips it forward towards Rodriguez. The Sumner is sweeping up. She'll have to be quicker than that to shake off the attentions of Rodriguez. And she just about manages to wriggle herself into safety. Van Egmond. Caitlin Ford. Sam Kerr's on her right-hand side. Solid challenge by O'Hara.
Look at how Shannon Box is just never flustered on the ball. When you're out in the back and you can play it into a defensive midfielder that doesn't get worried when there's someone on them, you play it in more often than not because you trust them to keep the ball and move it around, and that makes things so calm when you build out of the back. She's such a presence in that midfield.
Rachel Bueller for the United States. Amy Rodriguez challenged well by Kennedy. Just signs of life from Australia here, trying to work their way back into this match. Caitlin Ford with a long ball forward, but it's too far for Gielnik. Roll towards the end line. And that could be the opportunity for Australia to make their final substitution. Ashley Brown will enter the action, a 17-year-old who plays for the Melbourne Victory in the W League down under. And it's the goal scorer, Devana, who makes way, formerly of the Washington Freedom, who provided a memorable moment for the 19,000 plus here today. Hence the applause. A fourth international cap for Ashley Brown, former Australian under-17 and under-20 player. And Alex Morgan will make way for Sydney Leroux. Nine goals off the bench so far this season for Sydney Leroux. And a goal scorer to seal the semi-final spot in a 2-0 victory against New Zealand at London 2012. And away she goes. Such pace for Sydney Leroux. Just to your left-hand side there, Kyle. Pia Sundhage was on her feet, leaping away.
Yeah, she gets so excited when they have opportunities to break in that back line, and you almost feel like when you watch Pia Sundhage, she thinks she's in the game. She jumps up and does headers on the side. She's always kicking her feet. She wants to be out there, and she just loves the game so much. You see the passion she has on this sideline.
Kaya Simon for the Australians. Kate Margraf. It's been a much improved performance in the second half from the United States, and good for them, particularly after that 8-0 victory over Costa Rica, to have a sterner test today against the Australians. What do you make of their performance?
Well, it's great to see them bounce back from that first half, and they made some tactical changes, bringing on Heather O'Reilly, giving them width. Tobin Heath is staying wider, and Shannon Box is a presence, like Kyle mentioned, because she just sits, and everyone else can build around her. So it was a smart tactical decision the coaches made for the national team, and Australia's a tough team to break down. That's a typical Tom Sermanni coach team, is they're always tactically sound and very organized.
The future looks bright for the Australians.
Oh, it always does with him at the helm. They just don't have the player pool, the population that the United States has, and he's done an incredible job with this team with 10 players under the age of 20 playing against the #1 team in the world. They've done very, very well today, considering they've never had this type of experience before.
He told us the other day it's a transitional period for the Australian team. Sydney Leroux is onside. Heather O'Reilly is hustling towards the penalty area. Amy Rodriguez is on the edge of the penalty area, and Leroux just holds the ball up intelligently and waits for the support. Heath to Box. Here's Heather Mitts. O'Reilly flicks the ball past the defender. Here comes the cross to Rodriguez with the header. And Davey was fully behind it.
Smart little touch from Heather O'Reilly. As this ball comes in, touches it around the player, gets it on the other side. Immediately thinking cross. Great delivery, and Amy Rodriguez with a defender on her can't snap that header as hard as she would like. She's finding little pockets. She's been dangerous since coming on.
Going back to Tom Sermanni, he said to us that they do need a bigger base of better players in Australia. A pool of 25 or 28 players would be nice. They defend their Asian Championship in 2014, and that competition will also count as a World Cup qualifier for the 2015 tournament in Canada. Lots of young talent, not least at the fullback position through Caitlin Ford and Stephanie Catley, both 17 years of age. Brianna Davey has played well in goal today. She's only 17 as well. Emily Van Egmond only 19. Ashley Brown as a substitute. She's 17. Kaya Simon, a lot expected of her. She's only 21. Away goes Amy Rodriguez towards the penalty area. Rodriguez, can she seal the victory? Narrow angle as she tried to play in Sydney Leroux on the edge of the penalty area, but Asunla was there to snuff out the danger. Van Egmond at walking pace. That's poor from her. Straight to Heather Mitts, who can't keep the ball in play. We're comfortably inside the final 10 minutes here at the Home Depot Centre. The Australians have used all 6 substitutions. There's a player down. Severn Asunla is still down on the ground. She was struggling a few moments ago. And she'll need some attention. Real character, Tom Sermanni, 58 years old, a former midfielder, a combative midfielder in the Scottish and English leagues, in charge of this side since the Athens Olympics in 2004.
What a tough job to prepare your team to play against the world's best, but I think he did well to get this team ready to come out. Great game plan at the beginning. It was working. They went 1-0 up. And his team was bending but not breaking, and then the quality of the United States ended up shining in the second half. Individual brilliance and tired legs from Australia, and U.S. is back ahead.
Australia with the opportunity on the breakaway here. Ball in behind Gilman, though. And look how stretched the players become. Plenty of space out there. What a run being made here by Sydney Leroux. And what a ball it is by Tobin Heath. There goes the volley. And she just couldn't keep it down. Supervision by Tobin Heath. Ball over the top. Applause from Pia Sundhage. And a great run by Sydney Leroux.
What a class pass this is. Gets her head up and puts enough loft on the ball to allow Sydney Leroux to get underneath it. Can't get over that. Get her leg parallel with the ground to volley that towards the goal. But Tobin Heath has had some game, and when you have the speed of Leroux up top, that's always something you think about. Get your head up and see where she is. Can you find her over top?
Sydney Leroux provided one of the most memorable moments of the US run to gold in London 2012. After she scored that goal in the 87th minute against New Zealand, she just went frankly bonkers at St James's Park in Newcastle. The moment completely scooped her up. She ran towards the bench with a huge smile on her face. Pure joy at scoring a goal in the Olympic Games. She actually scored 5 in a single match against Guatemala in the Olympic qualifying tournament. That was 2 days after Amy Rodriguez had scored 5 against the Dominican Republic. Both joint US records. And here's Leroux again trying to work it back to Rodriguez. Alana Kennedy just steps in. She was born in Canada, Sydney Leroux. Switched allegiance early on in her career to the United States. Resides in Los Angeles, not far to go home tonight. And for her, a first gold medal at the age of 22. Lauren Cheney in the mix. One of the veterans of this squad. Heather O'Reilly likewise, been playing for the international team since she was 16 years old. Here's Rachel Bueller. Kelly O'Hara making a good run down the left-hand side. Here she is. Tobin Heath looks around, she's got some space. Into the feet of Rodriguez, this is nice football. Rodriguez with a drive towards the top corner of the net. Just over the bar, but wonderful, patient, penetrative approach play by the United States.
Well, when O'Hara makes that overlapping run, that frees up Tobin Heath. She finds that pocket, gets it to Amy Rodriguez. She reads the defender dropped off to follow the 1-2. Couldn't get over that, keep the ball down. She's good at finding the goal. She has a great nose for where the goal is, opportunities she can turn, and she's not afraid to shoot from anywhere.
Amy Rodriguez came on as a substitute. She played 35 minutes against Costa Rica in the last game. She played 32 minutes across 4 sub-appearances in London 2012. She didn't feature in the semi-final or the final. It's her second gold medal. From Lake Forest, California, 25 years old and approaching the century mark. This is her 95th international appearance. Fouled by Sydney Leroux. And if Australia are going to get back on terms in this match, the first of 2 between these sides this week, Wednesday in Denver, they renew hostilities. They're going to have to do it soon as we approach the final 3 minutes plus stoppage time. Bueller. Hope Solo hasn't seen too much of the ball in the second half. Australia hit the woodwork 2 or 3 times in the first period and scored that wonderful Divana goal. Solo was called upon to make a few saves as well. And since then, the United States have been dominant. Goals in this second half from Alex Morgan in the 55th minute and a Shannon Box penalty in the 63rd. Gives them a 2-1 advantage. Free kick to Australia. They don't appear to be in any major hurry to take it. Savannah Zunla, who seems to have recovered from her injury, just asking the question of Tom Samani what to do with this set piece. Right-footed. Curls it around to the edge of the penalty area. Heather O'Reilly gets the ball clear. There's just an opportunity here for the Australians to camp in that final third and press for an equalising goal. We'll await the board with the amount of stoppage time that's going to be played. I'm hearing 3 minutes at the end of the 90. Kaya Simon, Holkenhorn in there as well. The United States can bring it clear. Tobin Heath looking for the long ball, looking to send Sydney Leroux away, but that ball isn't too straight this time. As Zunla can turn. Emily Van Egmond scored the winning penalty in the WPSL final in the United States for the Western New York Flash against the New York Fury a few months ago, I should say. As Zunla again. Back to Davey. They must work this ball forward, Australia. Caitlin Ford. There's a throw into the USA. Here's Rodriguez. Leroux wants it at the back post. Rodriguez floats it towards Heather O'Reilly. Edge of the area is Lauren Cheney. O'Reilly with a bit of skill. Here comes the left-footed cross into the penalty area. Now Rodriguez, right-footed. The opportunity was there. She got underneath it. That's the action so far. Lisa Divana with a memorable goal in the 34th minute. She turned away at the halfway line, sprinted towards goal. Christy Rampone behind her and found the top corner of Hope Solo's net. Fabulous fashion. The United States, though, as they so often do, have come roaring back. That semi-final against Canada was the first time that they'd trailed and come back 3 times in a single game. They won that one 4-3. Confirmation, the board is being shown with 3 minutes of time added on. displayed, and we're into that now. And they also came back from 2-0 down against France in the opening match to win 4-2. They just don't know when they're beaten. Tobin Heath, run on the left-hand side by Kelly O'Hara. Here is Kelly O'Hara. That's a check back onto the right foot. Good defensive work by Australia in the end, got back in good numbers. Here's Sam Kerr, the substitute, who, because of the international dateline, celebrated her 19th birthday twice this week after arriving in the United States via Sydney. The shrill whistle from Kari Seitz, and it's a free kick for Australia. They're not going to get too many more moments. There's Sam Kerr. She'll be a striker eventually, says Tom Samani. She saw her ACL at the Olympic qualifiers in China. She's been out for a year.
Just to my right, Tom Samani telling the players to get forward. He wants them to take a risk.
As Zunlar with this free kick towards the edge of the penalty area goes. Falls to Van Egmond. She plays it in. Kaya Simon with the header, the flicked header, but only through to Hope Solo. And they're running out of time here, Australia. Minimum of 90 seconds remaining. The United States looking to go 2-0 after 2 matches of the Fan Appreciation Tour. This will be 13 consecutive victories. Rodriguez. Cheney was possessed by Simon. Simon's continued her run. Smart defending by Sauerbrunn.
Well, Arlo, you talk about a team that fights back and never gives up, never knows when they're beaten. A lot of that has to do with the attitude and mentality of the team. The other thing is the depth in this squad. There are players they bring off the bench that can change a game. And right before the Olympics, Pia Sundhage said, to win Olympic gold, you have to count on our bench. And that's exactly how they won the Olympic gold. And you see when the LaRues and the Shannon Box and the Heather O'Reillys come into the game, the level doesn't drop off. At times it goes up.
And the future looks so bright as well. The United States winning the Under-20s FIFA World Cup last week. A 1-0 victory over Germany. Kelly O'Hara with the winning goal. Whoever takes this job next from Pia Sundhage may be able to integrate some of those younger players into this squad to add yet more depth. We've had the 3 minutes of stoppage time. Kari Seitz, the referee, looks at her watch. She was in charge of the Olympic quarter-final, the defeat for Sweden, which led to Pia Sundhage getting the job. And it's all over. 1 match remaining of the Pia Sundhage reign, and she's won 13 matches in a row. If she can win her final match, it would make it 14. That would be the most for the United States women's national team since 1997. Warmth between Pia Sundhage and Tom Samani at the end of this game. A 2-1 victory for the United States over the Matildas of Australia. Second half goals from Alex Morgan on her 50th appearance, her 32nd international goal. And Shannon Box from the penalty spot. Hope Solo with very little to do in the second half after Australia had taken a surprise lead in the first half. Lisa Davana with a terrific goal. But the Australia coach, Tom Samani, is down pitch side with Kyle Martino.
Thanks, Arlo. Tom, never an easy challenge taking on the best team in the world. How do you think your players fared?
Look, we're very happy with, you're never happy when you lose, but I think we're happy with overall with the performance, considering the inexperience of our team, the level of preparation at the moment, and coming up against very formidable opponents.
Now, we know you love your job in Australia, and you've said so many times how happy you are. There's a big job open up right now, which I'm sure you know about, and you're highly respected in the coaching pool. Would you throw your name in that hat?
It's one of those difficult questions to answer because, obviously the US job is the biggest job in women's football. So for anyone to say they're not interested, would be a little bit false. At the same token, I'm happy in Australia. We've got a terrific young side that we're building up to the 2015 World Cup, and you know, coaching's a funny game. I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Thanks, Tom. Good luck in the future.
Thanks, Kyle.
Arlo?
It's an attractive job, isn't it? The United States women's national team job. But as Tom says, he's got a good young side for the Australians. We will watch this space. There could be an interim coach in charge when the fan appreciation tour continues. But let's get the thoughts now of Pia Sundhage down with Kyle.
Thanks, Arlo. Pia, we've seen this movie before. Another comeback with your team. How do you guys always do it?
Well, in halftime, you know, you look around and you see you need to bring the passion. And I think it was different in the second half, and having plays like Alex, you know, scoring that goal, that was a beautiful goal. And I think a player like Shannon Box, she turned that around. She had a good last 45 minutes. And it's something to be said about this team. There is always a way.
Now, you mentioned to us before the Olympics that you're going to have to count on your bench to win a gold medal. It seems like that theme is continuing. Every time you bring players off the bench, they perform well. Talk about the performances of substitutes today.
Well, this is something we talked about for a while, and we're training. It's not that it just, you know, shows up. We have players on the bench because they play the game on the bench. And we say that there are 11 players starting the game, and there might be a different play at the finish of the game. And if you look at some of the plays today, like Heather O'Reilly and Shannon Box, I think they did very well in the second half. And that's exactly what we've been doing for a long time, and they do it again today.
Thanks so much, Pia. Arlo?
Thanks, Kyle. One more game to go for Pia Sundhage against Australia on Wednesday in Denver. Stay with us for the post-game show. The United States have beaten Australia by 2-1. 13 wins in a row now. Alex Morgan is next.
And we're back at Home Depot Center, USA, a 2-1 winner over Australia. Russ Taylor, Kate Markgraf, and the goal scorer and 50th cap earner, Alex Morgan, joining us out. Congratulations on the win and your 50th cap. How is it that this team always seems to come from behind when they're down? They never stop fighting. How is it that you guys get it done?
Well, we have the confidence, we have the motivation. Everyone's pushing each other on the field every second. So we knew we were going to come back. We wanted to be sooner rather than later.
You know, Alex, you talked to us a little bit about the post-Olympic funk, how you missed the schedule, how you missed training and having something to look forward to. Would you possibly think about going overseas after January?
I mean, yeah, if there's no league or if it's a semi-professional league, then I might look at going abroad. It's the right time for me in my career right now, and there's great leagues in France, Germany, Sweden, so I'm not closed off to it at all.
Alex, you guys are going to be without a coach soon. Have you guys been talking amongst yourselves as who you might want or what kind of coach you think this team needs right now?
We've been talking amongst ourselves, of course, but we really don't know anything about what the next coach or the candidates. Pia is singing right now in the background, but we're going to miss Pia, and she's been a great coach for us. And we're kind of looking for a coach that, you know, wants to live in the U.S. and has that USA mentality.
Well, Alex, congratulations on the win again. Alex Morgan scoring a goal. Shannon Box ends up getting the game winner for Team USA as they take down Australia. Your final score is 2-1 here at the Home Depot Center. Thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate it.